Good evening. Welcome to this, an online stroll over my grave, if you will. It's very nice to be here. Well, it's nice to be here because I live here, not actually in this garage, but you know, this is part of my realm, if you will. So why are we doing this? You may well wonder. Why have I decided after refusing for so long to go back and play the songs of Easyworld? Well, I was kind of thinking we've got a lot of time on our hands, what with this whole lockdown thing. I can't see anyone playing any gigs anytime soon. So I thought I'm going to play one of these shows every 2 weeks, and then I'm going to play a milk and cookie show in the other gap every other 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks? Every month. No, one of these a month and a milk and cookies every month. I'm getting confused already. And so I thought, I've got a lot of songs to do, and I don't really want to go repeating myself and putting the same show on. So I thought I'm just going to play everything or just kind of theme the nights so that... I get to, yabber on a bit because that's kind of what I'm into, really. So I thought let's start at the beginning. If we're going to address the entire weight of my catalogue, if you will. And I thought it might be quite nice after all these years. In fact, I believe around 20 of them have passed since we recorded our first record. So, it seemed like the time, now that I'm a little longer in the tooth, to go back and play some of those songs. I don't really know which ones I'm going to do. I've sort of tried to remember a few of them. So as we go, I'm just going to kind of see what feels right. And I can see your words in front of me here. Philly shirt. That's right. So I may at some point be asking you for questions, requests, just general comments or whatever. Okay. So but not now. Actually, fuck it, whatever. Now, yeah, you just write what you like. But there is a bit of a lag in me reading what you say. So you got to time it just right. I'm going to start with I'll start with this one because this seems like a place to start. This was where we started our first album. There we go. Won the war, but was it really worth it? I don't know. Oh, happy days and the broken shell of something that I love. Went something like that. I think I screwed up a little bit, but it's been, like I say, it's been many years now. So that, what we did on our first album, kill that reverb. What we did on the first album was, and indeed the second one, is I was quite into the idea of opening the record with like a prologue that sort of set it up, and I quite liked the idea of having a really short track. So both of our albums started with a really short track that sort of. Because I came from a theatre background, and so it was almost like the that bit where the Shakespearean chorus turns up at the beginning and just says, "Here's what's going to happen. Everyone's going to die in the end. On with the play." And so that's kind of what that song was for. For me, it sort of it was about summing up the themes that would then follow in the album. Largely themes of lost love and a fair degree of self-loathing. But there were other ones in there as well. All right, I'm gonna do this one now. This is I wrote this song after I went to see R.E.M do a gig in 1995. So I wrote this sometime after that, but there was a song that they played called "Let Me In" off their album Monster, which is a weird record, but I really like it, and I think it's sort of. Yeah, it's strangely quirky. Anyway, for this song, Mike Mills, the bass player, strapped on this weird ass looking guitar. It was like all like misshapen and stuff, and just hit an overdrive pedal and was playing this overdrive guitar thing, and it didn't seem to have any sort of rhythm. It was just like mush, and I just thought it was so cool. And then Michael Stipe, who I've always loved. Just sort of sang this beautiful song, kind of a lament to the late Kurt Cobain. And I thought it was very powerful and really interesting that you do something so tender, but with such an aggressive and a nasty, overdriven guitar sound. So I sort of borrowed that approach for the title track of our first album, which was called "This Is Where I Stand," and I'm going to do a very different version of it now. Let's not use that thing. It's the ache of 1,000. Let's have some reverb. That'll be better. It's the ache of 1,000, nearly nothings, like unrequited love doesn't mean a single fucking thing. The ground has shifted crazy, and this is where I stand. Here I'll stay, 'cause it still feels the same. And there's no such thing as guarantee. And what I'd give for just one moment's clarity that I can trust not to disappear. It's all I've ever wanted. Well, that's what I tell myself, and I call it faith. And I think of something else. And there's no such thing as guarantee or control when it feels the same. Well, I woke up somewhere stupid. Oh God, what have I done? Not a thing, not a single fucking thing. The ground has shifted crazy. This is where I stand. Here I'll stay, 'cause it still feels the same. And there's no such thing as guarantee or control when it feels the same. The awkward silence after a song finishes. Just should have pressed my applause button, shouldn't I? How's it all going? Is this working? You hearing me? I've kind of got the feed here, but I feel like I'm very still on there. I don't know if that's me or what's going on. Okay, so does anyone have anything they want to say, contribute, ask? I should just point out that having given you the introduction about playing that song on a violently dirty electric guitar, I then played it like that. So tonight's it's not about playing like the records of Easyworld or the the performances or in the style of it's all about like taking the songs. And I thought, if these were my songs that I had now, how would I go about approaching them? And so I thought I'm just gonna use the old acoustic guitar and the piano, because that's a couple of things that we didn't often actually use, but do get a fair amount of use from me these days. Right, let's move over to the piano. But first of all, let's see if anyone's got anything interesting to say. Right, who are you? Where are you? Oh, someone says hi, David. Super Static Gamer says hi, David. Hi, Super Static Gamer. I can't believe it's been 19 years. Yes, it's been 19 years. That's a long time. Why did This Is Where I Stand disappear from streaming? Okay, well, this is kind of a question that I get a lot and that I always have to answer in the same way. It's not up to me to release the records of Easyworld. We had a record label whose job it is to do that. In fact, it's illegal for me to have anything to do with releasing them by myself. I mean, if it were me, I just give them all away for free anyway. But I don't own the records in question, so like I can't do anything with them, unfortunately. This Is Where I Stand is maybe a record that in its form I don't mind disappearing so much. I'm kind of more of a fan of our second record, which I think was it sort of surprised me when I listened back to it how much I thought it was actually not terrible. I say not terrible. No, I shouldn't put down our work. Like my objection to the records of Easyworld is largely like my fault. Like why did I decide to sing so high as that? We'll never know. What else have we got in here? Where's my black tie? Round your neck? Don't know. Lovely iPad case. Thank you. This is this belongs to my wife. She wanted spots. How/where are Joe and Glenn now? I don't know. I had a brief communication with Joe a couple of weeks ago. I made a very small contribution to this video that she was putting together, which Glenn was on as well. That was like our first very small collaboration that we'd all three of us worked on. I say worked on. My contribution was negligible. But if I can find a link, I will send it out into the world so you can see what we did. My son, so Liz Crouch says, my son has This Is Why I Stand tattooed on his ankle for Easyworld. Interesting. I mean, indeed, the ankle is one of the very great reasons you can stand. I think I'm always like amazed by. Oh, Glenn Hooper's there. Hello. Wow, that's that's strange. We could have hooked you up playing drums in your garage. Right. As someone who never knew of Easyworld at the time, seeing David singing falsetto and trying to act like a rock star in old Easyworld videos is quite weird. Yeah, it's weird for me too. I think there was a thing that happened around that time where there were a few bands like mine, and I think in the book that I wrote, I blamed it on Jeff Buckley for just. I mean, he was just such an amazing singer, but he sang so high, so beautifully and with such great tone. I think those of us who were young and naive just heard him and thought, that's amazing. All you need to do to sing well is just to sing incredibly high. And so that's what I did, even though I didn't have his same kind of tone and ability. I would sort of just shriek a lot, really. And I think, unfortunately, it's to the detriment of some of our earlier stuff. Like, with hindsight, I wish somebody had taken me to one side and said, like, drop it, like 6 tones and try and sing like a dude instead of like, I don't know, whatever I was attempting to be. Right, let's do another song, shall we? And then maybe we'll have another little chat in a bit. Yeah, there's my reverb. We're going to do this one now. This was, I'll talk about it afterwards. Here we go. So you want to live forever, give your stirring speeches on TV. We can laugh about it later, can't we? All your heroes went down fighting, so you get in every fight you can, and it makes you seem much closer to the man. I get my killing in the free world, ain't it fun? It's good for everyone, for better television. Does anybody wanna come on? Will you pick up your daddy's gun? Brother, can you smell the envy? Everybody wants to be like you, and the ones who don't, well, fuck them, and you do. All your heroes went down fighting, so you get in every fight you can, and it makes you seem much closer to the man. I get my killing in the free world, ain't it fun? It's good for everyone, for better television. Does anybody wanna come on? Will you pick up your daddy's gun? Oh, inshallah. Does anybody wanna get off? Oh, inshallah. And the cars will run forever. It's good for everyone, for better television. Does anybody wanna come on? Will you pick up your daddy's gun? It's good for everyone, for better television. Does anybody wanna come on? Pick up your daddy's gun. Thank you very much. So that song was called Second Amendment. It was, I suppose, one of my earlier attempts at writing, whether you want to call it like protest music or political songs, and it was also an early attempt at doing this thing that I do all the time now, which is write about two things at the same time, and draw parallels between them. So it was around the time of again showing the age there of the Second Gulf War, which we went into based on a lot of false information, and a lot of people, including me, were kind of pissy at it at the time. I mean, like, I'm not like completely 100% like you should never go to war for anything, and but at that point, it's like they were so hell bent on it. They just wanted to sort of like invent the justification, and yeah, and I was kind of pissed off, and I was very surprised that there weren't. It didn't seem like there were a great many other songwriters who were writing songs about what seemed to be a really urgent political situation, and I still kind of feel like that's the case. Like it's. I think a lot of musicians and songwriters are so concerned with their career prospects that they don't want to piss anyone off by maybe, you know, throwing a little bit of truth around. But since I don't really have much of a career to sabotage, that's never really been a problem for me. So Second Amendment was about the war, but obviously, as the title suggests, it's kind of about also about America's gun culture, which for a British person is something that's really baffling. Like we don't have guns in this country. I had never seen a firearm until I went to the US, and it's a very strange thing for people outside the US to understand, and I don't want to be the kind of person who sort of says, "Oh, your Second Amendment is a ridiculous thing, and you're all fools." I mean, that is my instinct, but obviously, you know, I come to it from very much my own perspective. So for me, it was this idea that if you are a country that reaches for the gun, or if you are a person with an instinct to reach for a gun to defend yourself, rather than if you don't have the option of negotiation, there is this whole the only thing that defeats a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun, which don't really want to say anything about that. But if everyone's got a gun, then you have to shoot people. Is the point? And so it just seemed like there was a lot of the way we solved this situation, whatever the situation, however you believe it was playing out, whether it was an economic one or a political one, or indeed some sort of humanitarian weapons of mass destruction issue. The fact that it was like we do this with the gun seemed to me to be like an instinct that was kind of crass and unfortunate. And of course, I was a young and idealistic, naive 24-year-old at the time. But you've got to remember that's Eastbourne years. Like Eastbourne sort of culturally a bit quiet. So I think if you're 24 and you live in Eastbourne, you're actually about 16 as far as how worldly wise you are. So I was definitely a little bit sheltered in my upbringing. But yes, Second Amendment was and ended up being a single, which was kind of weird because the middle eight's in Arabic and the and it's what it is about, and like the video had strippers and stuff in it. It was a very strange time and an odd choice. But we were frankly an odd band to try and sell to the masses. Right, what should we do now? Let me just check in with you guys. A stain to never. Mick Wright says, or Mike Wright, M-I-C. Do you say that Mike or Mick? I don't know. Either way, Mike Wright. A stain to never fade helped me through my first university breakup. That's my vote. Well, Mike or Mick. I was thinking about that song. It was always kind of a favorite of mine. Again, like played way too high. I couldn't believe when I listened back to it how, what key we went for that one. So what I found is if I shift it from G down like 3 steps into E, it's still pretty high. But then it really becomes reminiscent of a lot of my solo songs. So I guess in many ways, this is something I've discovered by this process of revisiting Easyworld songs. Is they are a lot like my songs. It's just that when you play them with the band we had in the style that we would play, like they sound like that. And if I play them like this, then they sound like this. Okay. You'll always be to me a stain to never fade. Worst mistake I've made. A blemish on an otherwise detestable career. A studied insincere. But I'll always be to you a record overplayed. The rain on your parade. Will you never look at me, see beautiful again? I would I were the same, but I love always. I don't wanna understand or make it go away, or hush myself when I just wanna say, will you never be to me a surface kind of friend? Yes, I do believe that this is not the end. It's not the end. I'll always be to you a stain to never fade, the worst mistake you've made, an episode to file under, never try again. I would I were the same. But I wanna be your adrenaline, the redness cross your chest. Oh, lover, I confess that you'll always be to me a stain to never fade. Oh, but I'd do it all again, 'cause I love for always. I don't wanna understand or make it go away, or hush myself when I just wanna say, will you never be to me a surface kind of friend? Hell, I do believe that this is not the end, where I still stand with the persistence of an idiot. Yeah, I'll still stand, but I'll stand by myself. Don't wanna understand, or just make it go away, and hush myself when I just wanna say, will you never be to me that surface kind of friend? Hell, I do believe that this is not the end. I don't wanna understand or make it go away, or to hush myself when I just wanna say, will you never be to me a surface kind of friend? Hell, I do believe that this is not the end. Yeah, that was so that one felt weirdly like the kind of song that I might actually still be playing nowadays. It's a little bit teen angst, but you know, I was, like I say, I was much younger then, and it seemed kind of appropriate or at least authentic, I suppose, to do that back at the time. Right, anyone else got anything to say? Oh, hang on. Andrew says, my new girlfriend took me to an Easyworld concert for our second date at King Tut's in 2003 to check whether I liked Easyworld before she'd start a relationship with me. Still married to each other. Yes, score. What a lovely story. Well, there you go. I got to say, it was a really lovely experience to play music to the audience that came to our shows. It was something genuinely. I felt a real sort of strange, almost like parental affection, because a lot of the people who came to the shows were like teenagers at the time. You know, were young, and some of them, you know, we were a weird band, and we weren't we weren't like popular in the wider sense. So it kind of felt like a little secret society coming to our shows, and it was a community, and I used to love seeing those faces out there playing the shows, and I hope that a whole bunch of you from back then are watching and kind of, you know, not too upset with what I've done with these old songs. But it was a beautiful thing to be part of, and I felt a real, like I say, this sort of parental love for our audience. As I still do today, but it definitely felt more like almost like a duty of care. And so I used to write a lot of songs that were sort of like, self-esteem anthems, to try and keep everyone's spirits up and what have you. Right, let's do another song, shall we? I'll just have a little glance down here. I used to listen to you. Scott says, I used to listen to you loads with my girlfriend. Now she's my wife. Oh, there we go. We've got lots of weddings, marriages going on here. Right, let's do another one at the piano, shall we? Okay. Now, God, this is. I've chatted for so long. We're already kind of time's running away. I don't know whether I should attempt something. Okay, let's try this one. Get me if you can. This I understand too well. I fail to make you mine. Heart attack and lime taste good. 1,000 broken hearts littering your path through here. Oh, tell me that you lie. Say you never think of me. But tonight, before you sleep, there will be a you and me. And I hope I'm on your mind when you wake. When you wake. Sworn away in time. Your fingerprints on mine still show. This chance as good as blown. Don't wanna be alone tonight. 1,000 broken hearts littering your path through here. Oh, it's so beautiful and sad. Need for nothing, but I want you back. But tonight, before you sleep, there will be a you and me. And I hope I'm on your mind when you wake. When you wake. Will you give me anything at all? Oh, just say the word. Oh, will you give me anything at all tonight? sun will burn the sea. You waste yourself on me tonight. And tonight, before you sleep, there will be you and me. And I hope I'm on your mind when you wake. Thanks. Thank you. Yeah, that was I quite enjoyed going back to that one as well. I was a very not a terribly confident piano player, so I still to this day when I look at the piano keyboard, it's not like one of the things that makes sense to me. Like, oh, I can play this. Like I have to like pick my way like a clumsy mountaineer up the hill face of piano. But that was. Yeah, that was it was really fun when we Easyworld made our second album. I played a lot more piano on that one, because it was a nice challenge. Not like I'd completed guitar playing or anything. Like I was still a pretty hack guitar player, but it was quite nice to be hack on a number of different areas. So that song was. Writing the second album was difficult. Like, I know it's a cliche, and it really is. Like, I've made 2 second albums, if you consider the Easyworld Kill the Last Romantic record, and then my own second album. And they've both been difficult for different reasons. Writing Kill the Last Romantic was very difficult for me. I felt a lot of pressure because, as the cliche goes, you've got your whole life to write your first album, and we could pick from songs that we'd been playing for years and years, and newer ones for the first record, and then the second album, it's like we've used all the good songs, and we had nothing. I'm pretty sure that when we were touring the first album, I think maybe we just started to put Till the Day in, I think, if I remember correctly, but I think pretty much all of the songs from the second album like had to be written for the second album, and I went on a strange road trip of southern France with a guitar and no money to try and kind of live the hobo life and sit on beaches and write songs. And I wrote a few things, and I had some ideas, but really it was just sort of time and patience that brought the songs to me. That's always been how I like to work. I'm not really someone who sits down and like goes, right, today we'll write a song. I sort of go about living my life and wait for the songs to, the tunes to come and find me. And and they do. Sometimes they take the sweet damn time about it, but eventually they always come around. Right, I think maybe we'll do 2 more, because I kind of said I'd cap this at an hour, and we're getting towards 50 minutes. So I'll do a couple more songs. Shall we do? What shall we do? Like, if anyone's got a good point to make in by way of a request, then we can do that. Let me see what people are saying. Till the Day was first danced at my wedding. I'm very glad it was actually when I wrote Till the Day. It was at my old house I used to live in. My favorite way of writing songs was in that house, was to sit at the piano crying, and not because I'm weepy, but sometimes if you really feel like you've tapped into some like emotional vein, and that line, "I'd gladly put up with this shit till the day that I die," just really, I thought, oh, that's a good one. And for me, songwriting is all about finding these moments and like latching onto them, and sort of knowing that's a moment, and that's gonna mess with people's heartstrings a little bit, because that's really what we're trying to do when we write songs. Is we're trying to mess with people a little bit. Oh God, right, people are writing a lot. Dedicate an acoustic version of Bleach to Donald Trump? Nah, let's not do that. Oh God, you stop writing so quickly, everyone. Bleach. I see the thing about. I don't really want to do Bleach. Oh, I'll tell you what. While I'm thinking, you you have this little stroll down memory lane. Okay? There you go. That was a little bit of nostalgia for you. We our record label spent so much more money on videos than they did on like anything. It was like they were video obsessed. I think they must have had some strange sort of side thing going with the video production company. But like I remember like the video for Till the Day cost, I think, twice as much as what it cost to make our record or something ridiculous like that. It was very strange. And that was around the time that they were dismantling MTV and Top of the Pops was off the air and stuff. I was like, what is this for? And it was before YouTube was invented. So like, why are we spending so much money on this damn video? No, there is literally no way anyone's going to see it. But anyway, in their infinite wisdom, this was the way that they were going to make Easyworld very famous indeed. It didn't happen, but it really was a wonderful ride and a beautiful experience. And I have no regrets. I have few regrets, but the regrets that I have are kind of details rather than fundamentals. If you get me, there's always things that you do differently. But like I say, I really enjoyed kind of going back and listening to some of the songs again. So I'm going to do this one now. This is a song that again that I was kind of like asked to write. Our second album had come out and they wanted there basically weren't really any singles on it that were like radio gold, which is always been fine with me. You know, I like I say, I stand by that being quite a good record. But they were like, okay, we need a single. And by this point, I already decided to that I didn't want to be in the band anymore. That, you know, I wanted to go and do something else. And I think I'm right in saying that, like, you know, I told everyone, but by this point, or maybe I hadn't. I don't know. Maybe Glenn, did I? I'm not sure. Anyway, so I spoke to Dave, the A&R guy at the label, who would subsequently become my manager, and his counsel was like, see out this period of the album, and you know, we need another song, so you know, this can be like the last single. If that's how you want to do, and if it does like take off and all of a sudden, you know, we're top of the charts or something, then, you know, then maybe you reassess your position. That didn't happen, but the song I thought was quite a good one, but it was kind of a song about breaking up the band, or rather it was a song about sort of like the romance waning, I suppose, and it yeah. This idea that the thing that you love, that you've always loved, maybe you're not in love with it so much anymore. So this is How Did It Ever Come to This? Oh, take a long hard look at the rain. Don't wanna talk about it over again. A little time spent deleting the scenes. You talk of love and I don't know what it means. Now don't you shiver like it's hurting to tell. Girl, you're so pretty and you fake it so well. Now disregard the pretty words that I wrote. Now learn to talk without a lump in the throat. How did it ever come to this? You talk of love and I don't know what it is. Hell, everybody gets this feeling. Oh, and I cannot feel a thing. So get your red dress out of the rain. Oh, will you drag me to the shallows again? Oh, girl, I've had it pouring over the hurt. I only wanna drag you down in the dirt. How did it ever come to this? You talk of love and I don't know what it is. Hell, everybody gets this feeling. Oh, and I cannot feel a thing. Oh no. Took a long cold walk in the rain. I only want to feel something again. How did it ever come to this? You talk of love and I don't know what it is. Hell, everybody gets this feeling. Oh, but I cannot feel a thing. How did it ever come to this? You talk of love and I don't know what it is. Hell, everybody gets this feeling. How can it be that I cannot feel a thing? And that's giving in. That's right, it was my intention for the last words of the Easyworld catalogue to be, and that's giving in. Because I was that much of a little shit bag that I liked to, bury in-jokes in there, even at times when it was actually it was a pretty, I don't know, it was emotional and occasionally bitter, as all breakups I think have to be, if it was ever worth doing it in the first place. Right. Is there anything else? To say? Let's just go back to the spotty iPad again. What's that shiny thing on top of your piano? Says Jean-Luc. Well, Jean-Luc, rather appropriately, the shiny thing on top of my piano is... I mean, no, not that I just you take any excuse to get out my award, but this is my my Victoire de la Musique award for 2014 that says I was France's best songwriter for 12 months. So... no, I feel a bit silly that I did that now. But then I did put it on the... That's a good spot, quite frankly, Jean-Luc, to see it from there. But it always sits on top of the piano to just, I don't know, remind me that I'm cool. Right. Ooh, better ways to self-destruct. I could not remember that if my life depended on it, I'm afraid. I mean, that is the case for a lot of these songs. It's surprising that the ones that I've been playing, I actually seem to remember through some sort of like muscle memory or, larynx memory, or like I say, a few tones lower. But there are some that are just like, I noticed we did this like Twitter request thing. A lot of people like requesting like B-sides. And it's like, I literally have never heard of that song that I wrote and recorded and released 20 years ago. It's like that title just doesn't even ring a bell. So there was a lot of that. Yeah, You and Me. See, the thing about You and Me is like that's a silly song. Like it's not a good song. Like it was a fun single, but it's not a good song. It's like a pop thing. It was actually originally it was never even an Easyworld song. When I wrote it, it was for this other project that I had called 98% Porn. That was essentially we just used to sample a lot of old records and then just like make really stupid kind of, I don't even know what you'd call it. Like it wasn't like EDM music, but it was odd sort of sample based loop stuff. And so I wrote that as like as a dumb song and gave it these really dumb lyrics, just like sexy lyrics. And then it was sort of buried towards the end of a set of demos that I gave to our esteemed A&R manager at Jive Records, and he did that usual thing saying, this is good, that's good, and he was like, that one, we're doing that one. I was like, what the actual fuck? It was I think I had to be sort of talked into it a bit, because it was like I sort of fancied myself as being sort of like intense and earnest, and like all those things that may surprise you to learn that even back then I was thinking that about myself, and like just doing like silly sexy music was not really my cup of tea. Anyway, I found I can't remember where I put it now. I think it's this one. So this was what the original thing sounded like. I mean, it does sort of sound like a...
So come around and see me. I'll mix a mean martini, and maybe later.
Yeah, so it was meant to be this like mariachi, Lothario thing, and it ended up being. We recorded it with Owen Morris, the producer who did the first 3, I think, Oasis records. He's a great guy, a fantastic like vibe merchant in the studio, but a lunatic, like crazy. And we weren't the band to keep up with him. We would have died. Like we were going to make the second album with him. He really wanted to do it, and it just couldn't happen because it was. I remember Taylor and I went to go and stay with him in Wales for a few days to talk about things and listen to some demos and listen to some music, and I think I showed up with I know. Probably Jeff Buckley again, and like Bright Eyes and this stuff, and then he was playing us like sort of New Order and sort of like noise things, and it was just like we were just completely at odds. But a lovely fella, and the experience of recording that version of You and Me with him was great. Like it was just like he'd just sit back in a chair and just like, louder, more guitars, and we had 50,000 guitar tracks on that thing, just more guitars, just throwing guitars at it until it just exploded, and then my dear friend James Brown then had the unenviable task of like mixing these 50,000 guitars into like this colossal noise. So so that was You and Me. I'm not going to play it because you've just heard that bit, and like I say, it's kind of a silly song, and I'm a very serious person. So I'm gonna leave you with this one. I'm just gonna go back and just see if anyone's got anything vital that I need to read. It has stopped. Oh, is that as in the feed has stopped? Oh, I don't know what you're saying there. I'm hopefully we're still rolling. Anyway, I think you're talking to each other. And that's fine. Okay, in that case, I'm gonna do this one, and I've not played it for a long time, obviously, and I've not actually rehearsed this one. I did just scribble out the lyrics just now because it only occurred to me. This is why we were late. Why the show was late happening. I was like, shit, I need to do this one, and I need to do it at the end because. When we were making the second album, I think really late on in the day, it was like we need something to close the record out, something that's really gonna send it off with a bang, or like a proper record closer, which is something I think is really important for me. Like first track, last track, really important on an album because I still believe in the album format and it sort of being a self-contained unit, and I wanted to write something that we could play last at gigs, and I wanted to leave people, as I said before, with the idea that they are loved and appreciated, and I wanted to have a good night song, I wanted to literally say to the audience, I love you and good night, and so that was what went into this song, and the other thing was we then. Subsequently, it's probably my favourite moment of the entire Easyworld catalogue was how we then managed to get from this song to then musically find our way back to the beginning of the record, and so the album ends the same way that it begins, but having sort of grown and changed and things. Yeah, I mean it's a shame you can't get the record anymore because it's all right, Maybe I'll have to contact the label and say, you really should actually put it out into the world, or let me do it. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with this. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining me for this little stumble down memory lane. I've really enjoyed it, and I hope that you have too. And if there's that many songs that I've missed out, maybe we'll do one of these again, and we'll revisit some of the other ones if you're thoroughly dissatisfied. Are you not entertained? Right. So this is called Good Night. I love you and good night. Good night, my friend. I'm glad you've come around. You've been so down. Oh, the joy of seeing you smile so wide. I don't need anything. These broken shoes, they've done some walking, and through all these holes we touch the ground and it feels like home. I don't need anything. Don't look and you won't find it's always worth your time. I love you and good night, good night. I said this hurt, it won't last forever, and this time I'm right. As you turn to me and you smile so wide, I don't need anything. This lucky day has been a long time coming, and all that we've done, it won't be forgotten. Good night, good night. Don't look and you won't find it's always worth your time. I love you and good night, good night. Kill the last romantic. Come back Thank you very much indeed. It's been an honor and a pleasure. Thanks for coming in. Do come and see Milk and Cookies in 2 weeks from now, and then we're doing this again, another themed show in 1 month from now. Thank you very much indeed. See you later.